our longtime friend, Dr. Kurtis Simpson. Kurtis is now the Center Director for the Ottawa Research Centre for the Defence Research and Development Canada under the Department of National Defence in Ottawa, which is the leading national defence and security science and technology agency under Canada's DND. And Kurtis has been Center Director since July 2016. This research center deals with areas of space, cyber research, radiation, ISR, and electronic warfare. In short, keeping Canada safe in an increasingly uncertain world. Kurtis's main responsibilities, very happy to see it, Kurtis manages a staff of 150 people, including military personnel, civilians, and contractors, and overseeing a large budget. Kurtis received his PhD and master's degree in political science at York University, working with Bernie Frolic, also Paul Evans. And I remember Kurtis as a senior graduate student when we were both students. And Kurtis has received many awards, and he's moved up and he's held a number of very important positions, including Director of Personnel at DRDC, Deputy Director General at the Center for Operational Research and Analysis, Special Advisor Programs to the Chief of Defense Intelligence. Also with DND, he was team lead for Asia, overseeing 5 senior analysts working on Asian political military security issues, with a particular focus on China, North Korea, India, and Pakistan. He's also been senior analyst in the Intelligence Assessment Secretariat of the Privy Council Office from 1997 to 2002. Kurtis and I, we worked together in that when Kurtis was in that role. And Kurtis has received from the Clerk of the Privy Council's Award for Exceptional Service. That was in 1998. He's authored more than 100 scientific reports, and he served as head of delegation and represented Canada and the department at some 50 international conferences. And so Kurtis will be able to shed some light for us on Professor Frolic's influence from the government standpoint too. So thank you very much.
Like the other panelists here today, I have been profoundly influenced by Professor Frolic's teaching, research, and study of China. But independent of their experiences in academia, I would suggest that Bernie's impact on government research, policy, and intelligence circles may be of even greater significance, and I'll explain to you why. I first met Bernie when he was director of the Ontario Jiangsu Educational Exchange, which facilitated students, but not just students, government employees, private sector individuals, soon to be lawyers, and people from the arts community to live in and experience China. In short, it demystified the PRC and encouraged lifelong people-to-people contacts between our two countries to the benefit of both China and Canada. The lesson learned from this: actual field experience in China is essential to understanding the PRC, and Professor Frolic's role in this respect has positively impacted on countless individuals within Canada, and my own case, which led me to graduate studies under him. After completing my MA and PhD coursework, I was fortunate enough to be recruited by the Privy Council Office to conduct intelligence analysis on China for the Prime Minister in the Clerk's Office. And again, Bernie's influence was profound. Daily confronted with endless reams of contradictory intelligence, source evaluations, and divergent perspectives, I was expected to synthesize this morass of information down into meaningful briefs for senior decision makers, and that was no small task. The lesson learned: the rigor and exacting nature of Bernie's mentoring style equipped those who survived difficult grad school years with him, and not all did. He equipped us with the intellectual stamina needed to grapple with the complexity of mastering China's political and social landscape. From PCO, I drifted into foreign policy circles, and again, Professor Frolic's reach was pervasive. Foreign policy types like to suggest that they make all the policy, but I would suggest that it's really a community of interests and practice that make policy, involving intelligence specialists from CSIS and CSE, central agencies, PCO and the Treasury Board, foreign aid and development groups, as well as defense analysts, which impact on choices all along the way in any policy decision. In every one of these domains, Professor Frolic has influenced individuals that in some way share his perceptions and understanding of China. The lesson learned here is that no single person predominates in any policy choice. It's a collective effort, and the more you influence the different tipping points in various ways, the more you determine the overall outcome. Bernie's focus on relationships, or guanxi if you will, has offered him political sway few other academics have enjoyed. From DFATE, I moved into defense research full-time, and once more Professor Frolic's understanding of the Chinese Communist Party, the PLA, and the inner working of Chinese political elites was a determining factor in my own thinking. Under Bernie, I became fascinated with the intricate interplay between civil-military relations and the PRC, recently chronicling how the military's political power resources continue to increase, resulting in a relationship of what I would call conditional compliance between the party and the PLA on key issues, and the potential for fractures between these two groups as we reach crisis points along the way. The lesson learned here: Professor Frolic, from his earliest days, appreciated the intersecting relationships of different centers of gravity within the communist state, and how ideology, political culture, military doctrine, and civil society are all important in determining the political social evolutions of the Middle Kingdom. So finally, now as a senior executive with Defense Research supervising work on radar sensors, cyber operations, space, and navigation warfare, you would think that I could be removed from my fascination with China, but alas, I'm not. And in fact, Bernie's endless references to the CCP's 5-year plans come back to haunt me, because the focus within Chinese elites on defense science has been prioritized as China's role continues to increase within Asia Pacific and the greater world. In effect, my own background, as divergent as it has never been able to lead China, and Bernie has impacted on any number of different ways. The lesson learned here: the prescience of Professor Frolic's concerning China's emerging global role has enabled him to nurture a significant cadre of expertise in all aspects of the Canadian government, ensuring we are better able to respond, adapt, and manage the emergence of China in our Canada's own national self-interest. This fact should not be, the importance of this fact should not be lost on anyone in this room. So in closing, Bernie, for all those you have mentored, coached, educated, and influenced in government policy, program, and intelligence circles, I thank you. Your difference is profound, ongoing, and very much valued by others. Thank you.